The SKAVEN, also known as the Ratmen, the Ratkin, the Children of the Horned Rat, or the Underfolk, constitute a malevolent and diabolical species of large, intelligent humanoid rats. They inhabit an expansive subterranean empire referred to in their language as the Under-Empire, with the horrifying city of Skavenblight at its core, believed to be the birthplace of the SKAVEN race. The SKAVEN, characterized as a cruel, treacherous, and highly numerous species, have extended their corrupt influence across the farthest reaches of the known world. Emerging from the depths below the earth, these scavengers have constructed a vast empire, wielding military power and incomprehensible numbers capable of overwhelming the human kingdoms of the old world in a tumultuous wave of violence and anarchy. Unlike any other mortal civilizations, the SKAVEN Under-Empire is unparalleled in terms of instability. The SKAVEN race is profoundly divided, driven by a ruthless lack of cooperation rooted in their insatiable drive to survive, thrive, and assert tyrannical dominance over their kin. For a SKAVEN, sentiments such as pity, remorse, compassion, or cooperation are non-existent. Survival is the sole imperative in their turbulent society, sparing only those possessing brute strength, extreme cunning, and the vicious instinct to outmaneuver and eliminate opponents, regardless of the cost in casualties, whether friend or foe. Despite their internal divisions, the SKAVEN share a common goal: to conquer the surface world and usher in the Great Ascendancy, where they will swarm across the mortal realm and claim it as their own. All SKAVEN believe that the world is destined to be theirs, viewing themselves as the supreme master race, superior to all other intelligent races in the known world. This conviction is rooted in promises made by their malevolent deity, known by many names, but most famously as the Horned Rat, embodying all that the SKAVEN are or will be. The Horned Rat's worship over the Under-Empire is absolute. In the harsh hierarchy of the Under-Empire, the Horned Rat's wishes are enforced by the ruthless tyranny of the Council of 13. This organization comprises the 12 most powerful warlords in the Under-Empire, with the 13th seat reserved for the Horned Rat. The Council's iron-fisted rule has maintained some semblance of unity in the Under-Empire for centuries, as none could hope to overcome the legions of warriors under their command. The SKAVEN show scant regard for the past, lacking any recorded history. To a SKAVEN, only 2 times merit consideration: the present moment, when they are not in control of the world, and the imminent future, when they anticipate their rule. Personal accomplishments, particularly those related to one's ascent in power within their sect, hold significance, while broader racial history, origins, or achievements of other SKAVEN are seldom pondered. The SKAVEN's self-centered nature is evident in their absence of rituals or commemorations for the deceased. Their jealousy inclines them to undermine rather than acknowledge the achievements of their peers. Furthermore, the SKAVEN lack a coherent concept of time, including dates, years, generations, or ages. Consequently, the history of the SKAVEN remains shrouded in mystery, largely unknowable to the denizens of the old world. SKAVEN themselves are indifferent to their history, and attempts by a few humans to collect and document it prove daunting. The limited sources available typically involve humans who witnessed pivotal moments in SKAVEN plans and somehow survived to recount them. Notably, it appears that both nefarious and well-intentioned human agents have actively purged or altered the scant records of the Ratmen's actions, persecuting those delving too deeply into these inquiries. As a result, fragments of SKAVEN history often derive from scripts, folklore, and tales passed down through generations from times long past. A handful of radical imperial scholars and university professors engage in endless debates about the true origins of the SKAVEN race. Some propose that the SKAVEN are a branch or variation of the beastmen, while others argue that they are not descended from men, but rather an evolved and mutated form of the common rat. However, the most alarming aspect of this discussion is that the majority of humanity currently denies the existence of SKAVEN. Those who openly discuss such matters are often ostracized by normal society and, at worst, condemned as heretics and burned at the stake. This denial is rooted in common sense. If it became widely known that millions of mutated ratmen lived deep beneath many of the Empire's cities, widespread panic would likely ensue. The greatest threat to the SKAVEN's great ascendancy has always been internal, and if external forces, such as a united empire, posed a threat, the constant infighting among the clans would cease, allowing the ratmen to unify and potentially overwhelm the old world. SKAVEN are naturally elusive, cunning, and challenging to identify, residing in underground tunnels far from the reach of ordinary observers. They surface only during their most violent and inexplicable wars, disappearing mysteriously into their tunnels after being defeated or victorious, remaining unseen for many decades. Scholars' only source of information about the SKAVEN's origins comes from an old Tilean tale called the Doom of Kavzar. The most commonly referenced version is an ancient epic poem with 13 stanzas, either in the original Tilean or a translated form. Unfortunately, all copies of this tale have been destroyed or lost over the centuries. Some speculate that imperial authorities deemed the text heretical and eradicated its knowledge, while others suggest that the SKAVEN may have played a role in its disappearance. Nevertheless, the tale persists in the lands of Tilea, a common piece of folklore among the farmers and commoners living in the rolling countryside. The Tileans, in particular, have a closer connection to these vermin than many are willing to admit, and the old story was passed down by their ancestors in ages long ago, during a time when one of humanity's earliest cities was truly at its zenith. In the next video, we will explore the rise and fall of SKAVEN Blight and the great migration of the SKAVEN. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yes, yes.